Morning, afternoon, evening. Morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to some Star Citizen. You may notice I'm wearing the same thing as yesterday. I'm recording it the same day as yesterday because I just, I was in the mood to keep recording, so I'm going to keep recording. Anyway, no, I was just looking. If you didn't see yesterday's video, go check it out. It was basically a Reddit I'm out of breath, man. Why do I get way too energetic doing this little morning?
I can see what's happening.
What? Pause, please. So, inside Star Citizen. Yesterday I did just kind of like a Reddit recap. It was actually really cool. We saw this guy who was talking about how from before he started Star Citizen, his journey throughout Star Citizen, and then he showed pictures of his setup, pre-Star Citizen, mid-Star Citizen, and where it's at now, and it was sick. Definitely go check it out if you haven't already. It was a video yesterday. But while I was looking through it, I saw a bunch of pictures and spoilers to Inside Star Citizen Duty of Dereliction. So I was like, I need to watch this. I haven't seen one in a while. I feel like I'm out of the loop. So we can just sit here and watch it together. So that's the plan. I have it up right now. Let's take a look at it. Alright, here we go. First of all, Star Citizen, what are you doing? Look at this, guys. What's this? Why are you... Star Citizen, what are you doing 1080p uploads, man? Let's go. Seems to be perfect.
We figured we had some cool crash sites already in the game.
I'm gonna turn them down a little bit.
We wanted to bring a sense
right.
of wonder and some mystery.
Alright, go back. Okay, here we go. Now I'm watching. I wasn't watching before. I'm paying attention now, I promise.
We figured we had some cool crash sites already in the...
Have I been to this crash site? I don't think I've been to this crash site, It says work in progress at the bottom. Okay, listen. You guys can't see it because my camera's...
Game?
Wrong button. See, right there. Work in process. You see it? I'll get it right eventually. Oh, God. This will be cool. I like crash sites. I don't know why it's fun. Anyways, continue.
We wanted to bring a sense of wonder and some mystery. And make the players want to explore, like, oh, what's on the other side of...
I agree. That is sick, by the way. Here's the thing. Okay? I just want it so that you can go and explore these places. I don't know. I hate it when you... Okay, I've been there, I've seen it, I don't need to go back. Like the Crash Javelin, right? We've all been there, we've seen it. Do you need to go back? Not really. You don't. It's the same with, the Crash Satellite 2. I'm trying to think that, okay, KJ, well, what the hell do you want to do down there? I don't know. I don't know. It's just such a cool POI to not have something other than just a crash, Maybe when you go there, you can pick up, like, parcels. Maybe every now and then it just pops up. It pushes out parcels that have been buried in the snow. And over time, they come out. That can be the excuse. But basically, like, maybe not every day, but maybe, like, once a week, it can be like a mini jump town once a week. When I say mini jump town, I mean minuscule, nowhere near the same level. But imagine if, like, once a week, just packages melted in the snow, and you could go there once a week, and you could, load up your own ships with some packages from this broken down caterpillar. That would be cool. It would be like a cool kind of mini jump town too. Everyone would be there, they'd be fighting. It'd be cool. There's an idea. You're free to have that one. Continue.
This derelict. In 3.16, we're adding a whole new series of Caterpillar crash sites with exciting new puzzles.
Don't you dare tell me what I just said is coming to fruition, because I will go and buy a lottery ticket today, because there's no way that I just called this.
And awesome environments to explore.
Puzzles, though, they said. So that's cool. That's what I was literally just saying, though. It's not quite what I was saying about the mini jump town, but having it so it's not just a crash. Like, you can go there and actually do some cool things. That's cool.
The dangers that the players are going to encounter in the new Caterpillar crash sites are the laser trip mines. There's a sense of some people have.
Okay, that's cool. If there's going to be danger, though, there needs to be some sort of reward. Listen, they haven't even introduced it yet, and I know I'm complaining about it already, but it is what it is, okay? And I don't know why this isn't in 4K, so it's not my fault, it's theirs, okay?
Already been there and have rigged the crash sites. Players will have to get really clever to find new ways to approach the Caterpillars or find ways to deactivate them. Along with increased danger comes increased rewards. So we really wanted to make use of the new loot system and give a reason to the players to explore these locations.
Credit where credit is due. Well done. I forgot about the loot boxes for a while because I haven't been playing. But the loot box idea is great. Having like better loot in these crash satellites is cool. I like that idea a lot. I like the idea of searching the solar system or searching the verse for loot. Things that are unique that you can't necessarily buy in shops. Things that you can't buy with real money. Things that are like scattered around the verse in unique places. I love that idea. And I think if they did that, even just with maybe there was an old cyclone, right? You've seen my videos, my cyclone videos, where we've crashed in the middle of nowhere. Imagine if there was just a broken down cyclone, like the one, like my videos, where you'll have a cyclone that's like hit a tree and it's on fire. And then just next to it, there's a loot box. Just little Easter eggs scattered around. I like it. They're going in the right direction for sure. For sure.
Now that we produced those Caterpillar Derelicts for 316, that was just the tip of the iceberg. We had this long-term vision of a systemic, persistent kind of derelicts that can go on through the universe. We start looking at what the future could look like in the next few patches.
That looks so good. What are they, naked? My camera's in the way. What's this? Down here. This looks. Tell me this isn't a butt cheek. This is a butt crack right there. And you guys can't even see what I'm pointing at. Where's my mouse? Is that? Am I going nuts? Is that what I'm seeing here? This looks like someone that's on a like thing like flying down. Butt crack. Butt crack. Anyway, ignore the butt crack. There's a bunch of naked people over here too. Look at all these. This is a little nude colony. You see all the nudists in the like at the bottom of the ship over there? That's sick though. I love this. I love this idea. Like it just reminds me of, you know, when you watch like the Mandalorian and things and these cool worlds they create and areas. Like this is sick. This is sick. It's just, you know, like especially when you can start building your own like when the Pioneer comes out and you can start building your own living quarters, like your own little module to live in. Plop a module down here. What a sick place for you to log in and out, you know what I mean? I don't know where to put this camera now. We got naked people down on the bottom right, so I don't want you guys missing out on that.
We wanted to introduce the spaceship derelicts into different biomes across the universe.
It's just so cool. Yeah, I like this idea.
We started with the Reclaimer and place it in a Nordic feel.
Look at that! I saw that yesterday on the Reddit video, but it's so good.
A corroded version of it.
Yeah, I love that.
Where you start to see.
If you didn't see yesterday's Reddit video, I talked about this a little bit. I would love it, like, for example, how it starts off like this. I think maybe let's say there's an update in the game in January or February, and then this shows up, and it's like, oh, this is sick. Look how cool this is. And then it stays, and then 6 months later, when they have another update, or maybe 3 months, or whatever the time zone is, I don't know. But then months later, there's another update.
We explore
and all they do,
corroded version of it, where you
is add this, so they change it. So it's like a living, breathing, you know, one day there was this crashed, you know, ship that we can go take a look at, and then another update happens, and all of a sudden, it's kind of you know, like this. It's like corroded, and it looks like there's some sort of settlements being built around it. I'm talking as if I'm making, look at me with my brilliant ideas. That's literally probably what they're saying right now. But I'm hoping that is what they're saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay, just continue.
You start to see the inner structure, but with some plating on top. The spaceship is there for like 20 years and more, and just getting rusty.
It looks sick.
We have a moon crash site. There's no atmosphere, and it's pretty dry, and it's not like terrestrial, and that was pretty awesome to work on. This spaceship was crashed into a forest.
I love the palm tree.
We wanted to explore the avenue of having those trees just really close to the spaceship, and also having overgrown vegetation on it.
I love it. Absolutely love that.
We wanted to feel that spaceship is there for many years, and the nature is just taking over.
Look at it. And then you could build like your own little world. I want to live
And the
there.
next is a communication crash. This spaceship is crashed on the top of a mountain. Those guys they're just establishing a communication base where they are at the highest point, and they can emit a transmission from there.
It's cool.
I had the idea to make this spaceship like crashed, and it's a swampy biome. So the guys just building those towers to get above and to know.
Oh, it's Star Wars, right? Isn't that where the little fella used to live, little Yoda? Didn't he used to live in like an area like this? Am I going crazy? Has it been a while since I watched the movies? Am I not remembering it correctly? I don't know.
Be dependent of the tide. It's adding like a lot of verticality in this, and it's pretty cool.
We all grew up with the same kind of images. You can imagine
That's
where,
sick. That is sick.
how,
That is sick.
why they crashed there. Was it hostile or not? Was it coming out from a fight?
That's a good question to ask yourself. When design, if you know, if you're a designer on these things, like why was it, how was it there? You know. Like, I would like to believe in my mind that it wasn't, like, if I saw a crashed ship, I wouldn't necessarily think straight away like it was hostile. Like, I would think of it as more, you know, just something went wrong. You know, if it's a trading ship or something and it just, you know, something just went wrong. And it just, they tried to bring it down slowly. Otherwise, these ships would be vaporized into pieces, right? So the ships, they always, you can always make out what they are. Which makes me think they came down slowly, which makes me think something went wrong, so they tried bringing it down. Unfortunately, you know, they couldn't land it properly, and it, boom, just impact, slams and comes to a stop. And then that's just, you know, it was too damaged to fix, and they just, yeah, that's how I think of it.
And then to imagine the second and the third life of them, it's captivating. It captures something like on an emotional level.
Yeah, this is sick though. This is a good Inside Star Citizen. I like this.
As we are always looking on Reddit and reading all your feedback,
That's what I did yesterday.
we can't wait to see what you guys will think about those as we produce them. Hopefully you'll like it as much as we like producing them.
C-3PO, is that you? Maybe they were naked. I love that idea. I love it.
Derelicts are a terrific way to explore visual
Go on, Disco.
storytelling in Star Citizen, and not only make the persistent universe feel more alive and lived in, but provide artists and designers alike opportunities to update and change what would otherwise be a static location into a dynamic and potentially dangerous experience for anyone that enters. But we're not done, because what would Inside Star Citizen be without a sprint report? Lopsided, like the overtime rules in professional football. Let's get to it. Let's start things off with some of the continuing work.
Yeah, I agree. I think it should be. I think that's what he was saying. I could be wrong, but you know, having a living, breathing game. I think that's more important now more than ever, that they try and do that, because most games, if not all new games, do that, right? where, you know, even games... One of the games that started it, let's be real, was Fortnite. And I know, Fortnite! But listen, they had things that would change. Like, the map was dynamic. It would change every season. Like, there was a story every season, and the map would just change. They had in-game events where you logged in. It kind of like the Xenophon things. That was awesome. That's, you know, I love that. But, like, having the maps and things change, having a story... You know, you could have a story that could last years in this game, where there's an attack. You know, the whole Xeno threat could literally blow up a moon or a planet eventually. You know what I mean? And that can be a story that they lead to. And I hope that's where they go with this. I know we're in alpha, but I think that would be cool. You know, if they could, something happens, like there's just, I don't know, like a long ongoing story that's just threaded throughout this game, you know what I mean? And then maybe, boom, one of the planets blows up, a moon blows up, and we were all trying to defend it and all that, but we couldn't do it. And unfortunately, it's, you know what, that'd be cool, okay.
For hospitals, and the recent work in progress of Maria Pure of Heart, soon to be found on Hurston in the upcoming Alpha 317. While functionality will be similar to hospitals currently in the burst, you can see here the Hurston family-specific touches that will help you immediately know where you are when you wake up. Now, this hospital already feels like an extension of the CBD players are familiar with. Work is also underway on Mercy Hospital for the once and future Levski, with Greybox progress.
I have a lot to say about this one. If you want to hear that, I don't want to do it too much in this video because this is already a long video, can be pausing it. I have a lot to say about this. I don't like the concept pictures, and I explain in that video, so go check out
the lobby, including nurse station, elevators, insurance and pharmacy booths, and more. Let's switch gears now over to mining gadgets, which the EU-PU team has now successfully completed the full loop for, and is just tweaking and bug fixing ahead of its release in the upcoming Alpha 317.
Yeah, I have not a clue what this is.
It starts simply with buying a mining gadget at any shop that carries it and bringing it back to your ship to place in its local inventory. In this case, our prospector. Now take off, find yourself a mining deposit, and scan it like normal. Here, we found a node with an instability of 0.91, which doesn't usually make for a great mining experience.
I don't mind.
Also, keep an eye on that 0.18 resistance. We'll come back to that later.
I don't mind. So
next, we're going to pull our mining gadget out of the ship's local inventory and equip it into our personal, because it's time to go out and land on the rock like we're Bruce Willis in Armageddon. Or Ben Affleck. Or in my case,
is that a mine?
Once we get there, we're going to place our device, in this case an Ocunis model specifically designed to reduce instability, and then adjust our waveform accuracy to at least 90% before we activate and leave.
What?
Then when we return to the ship and recheck our scanning results, we can see our instability has now been cut down to 0.54, while our resistance has bumped up to a 0.28. Yeah, everything's got a price. It's at this point that you can mine, break apart, and collect like usual, and in many cases, even recollect your mining gadget to be used again in the future. It's a fun new wrinkle that's ready to go for Alpha 317 at the end of this quarter.
Huh? I don't really mind. I don't really enjoy it. I think it's boring. To each their own, though, right? Some people don't like trading, some people don't like bounty hunting, some people don't like delivery missions. Mining is just not for me. It feels like fishing in real life. I just sit there. No, I don't. I just don't like it. Okay, but this I feel like makes it even more difficult. You're telling me I have to get out of my ship now? I'm not getting out of my ship. What if I was in a mole? It'd take me 3 years to get out, walk down, walk all the way, go out, put this thing on, come back up, get in, get. Listen, I'm sure this is really cool. I'm not saying it's not cool. I'm not saying it's not cool. This is sick. It is cool. I just don't know what the hell it is.
Meanwhile, the vehicle experience team has been experimenting in the world of maybe, kinda, can we do this, with testing the viability and operability of cluster missiles that you can see here.
cluster missiles.
As well as cluster bombs, where one breaks apart into many, and as you can see here, because of the systemic nature underlying every aspect of Star Citizen, the explosion of one ends up knocking subsequent drops off their targets. It's safe to say more testing and prototyping will be needed before the team considers adding such munitions to the persistent universe prop.
I think that is just a given. Like, I think it's cool, but I mean, like cluster missiles, yeah, I think it makes sense. It's cool.
Let's go ahead and move inside where it's safer and take a look at recent work on the Drake Vulture, seen here in its final art pass. As a single-player salvage vehicle from Drake Interplanetary, the interior is expectedly sparse and utilitarian, with the bridge seen here, the habitation area.
What's this again? So what I would love to see is them to bring out a ship like this. And I know they can't do it this way because this is how they fund their game. So how they fund their game, obviously, is from us buying ships. That's literally probably the main thing. And people that are subscribers and all of that stuff. So they can't... It's for them to... It's a difficult thing to make a decision on, and I'm glad I'm not in their position to be the one that has to make the decision. But they also clearly don't have anyone to make that decision because they've never made that decision. And what I'm trying to say is, at some point, I think they'll have to make a decision on a ship like this, whether you make it gameplay, so that the people that are currently testing your game, you can make them stick around and make them very happy and create something that gives you something to do. It gives you progression. Or do you make a ship like this and sell it so that you can make some money? Clearly, they don't need money for development right now, since they're building that like multi-million-dollar headquarters in Manchester in a location that's very expensive. So it's not like they need money for development because they have a lot of extra. So if that's the point, why don't you instead make a ship like this, and instead of making it where people have to buy it, make it gameplay? I said this yesterday, very vaguely, but imagine if instead, imagine if instead of being like, hey, here's a new ship, it's $200, if you're not tight on money, and like I just said, it doesn't seem like they are, the way they're spending it, make it so we've got this ship, you can only buy it, though, in-game, with in-game currency, and you can only even be offered to buy the ship once you complete X, Y, and Z. Or you get to X, Y, and Z level. You know what I mean? Like, you have to complete things to get progression. Something fun to do. For all of us to be like, oh, I want this ship. Like, if they said that, imagine if they said, like, hey, we have a ship you can only buy in game. You have to do certain things, like a certain storyline to even have the option to buy it. Frick yeah! I would be in there to do that. Hell yeah! And I think that's where someone up there in the corporate office needs to make that decision, Chris. Hey, we have this ship. Do we sell it, or do we make it a gameplay mechanic where people have to buy it in game? Which will make a lot of the community happy. Or do we make our pockets happy? Unity? Pockets. And don't come at me saying they need that money for development, because like I just said, they clearly don't need the money for development, okay? They've got a lot of money they're spending. They got extra. They're like, let's build this incredible multi-million-dollar structure for us to work in the middle of a beautiful... Like, no. They don't need the money. They've got the money. Put it into gameplay for once, will ya? Okay, rant over. Let me know what you think about that in the comments, though. I'm very curious. I'm very curious to what your guys'
and the processing area. Oh, I almost forgot. Sorry, everyone. Here's the bathroom, too.
Such a Star Citizen meme.
Ooh,
This
is
is your
that
guys' fault,
soundproofing?
by the way. I wasn't around when people complained about toilets. This is you guys. And I've seen the toilets on the International Space Station. They don't look anything
We've
like
also
that.
got this look at continuing gray box progress on the RSI Scorpius, where one sprint was for completing the main body and carving out space for all the components,
It's a big
weapons, lockers, and more.
I do
'cause
own this
there's
ship,
a
too.
lot to pack into a ship of this size.
I'm excited for
And then
this.
another sprint where it's a bit further along the gray box
It's
phase.
just like an X-Wing. I mean, you couldn't not buy it. It's very Star Citizen. You can tell by looking at it that that ship is a Star Citizen. You know what I
And
mean?
let's not forget the real hotness, its wings fully extended.
Yeah. No, it's you can't not buy that
Nice.
ship. I mean, you can. I have it. Guilty.
Work also continues on the Hull A as the team focuses on finalizing more intricate details
As a
of the
trading
extending
org-
and retracting cargo grid in the middle.
As a big trade and myself and having our trading org, I cannot wait for the whole series ships. The only reason I don't own them and I'm not that excited for them is because they're, trading is shit at the moment anyway. Let's be honest. I'm not going to get into that, but so any new trade ships I could care less about because I don't want a ship that I can't even use properly. And not only if it was a trade ship like the ones that are coming out right now, but also these are cross system. This is something that's supposed to trade between like Stanton and Pyro and beyond, not all within, not Hurston and Magda. That's not what these are for. So I don't want these to be released. I don't want to see videos of these things until they can be used. Okay? I'm not buying them. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. This takes me back. So remember I was just saying about how they should choose between gameplay and making money? They should have done that with that ship that just came out, the Argo Cargo. Is that what it was called? I don't know. But you know which one I mean? The new cargo ship that just came out that had the module cargo. Usually I'd be excited about a trading ship, cargo ship. I was so mad that they brought that out. Trading doesn't even work. It hasn't worked for 2 years. And you're bringing out another trade ship? That ship, in my opinion, should have been a ship like what I was just talking about. It should have been a ship that someone up there, the higher-ups, was like, this is it's not a great ship, it's not terrible, it's perfect in between trading ship. This should be something that we have available in-game only, and we should make some sort of, maybe that Drake ship we just looked at is a ship that, maybe you have to complete X amount of pirate bounties in order to be able to buy that ship, right? And then maybe that new nice orange cargo ship they brought out like a couple months ago, maybe that should be something that you had to earn X amount of money from doing cargo runs or do X amount of delivery missions before you can have the ability to even be invited to buy that ship. That to me would have been the right thing to do, and I think that would have been a sick gameplay thing, and it would have kept people busy because people would have wanted both, right? So people would have tried, it would have forced me to bounty hunt, right? So that I could get enough so that I could buy that ship. And it would force bounty hunters or pirates to trade. Because they're going to want that ship too. That's just my thoughts and opinions. Again, I would love to know what you think about that specific thing in the comments. Because I'm big believer in that. Big believer.
Middle, and the engine assembly at the rear.
But it is cool to see the progress. I get that. I'm not saying I don't want to,
And
you
then
know
the
what I mean.
Banu Merchantman continues its early white box explorations for its massive interior, including the engineering section,
thing
which
for
should
this,
have
though.
lots of nice movement
not
to it when
ready.
it's all said
I'm
and
not
done.
sad that it's not here. It's not ready. It's not ready.
As well as a small brig that's currently located towards the front of the ship that will continue to evolve with more of its trademark Banu curves as white box phase continues.
Yeah, take your time on this, please.
And
Don't rush
before
it.
we leave ships this week, as some folks may have guessed from a recent newsletter sneak peek,
That's a cool
the
ship.
Drake Corsair has begun its journey through the ship pipeline with this look at early white box progress for its exterior, and we're going to continue to follow along with this progress
That's cool.
as
That's
this
cool
most
ship.
recent creation by the legendary Jim Martin goes from concept to reality throughout this year.
It's a cool ship. I like that ship a lot.
Spacescaping. Now, it's been a while since we checked in on the
Pyro.
universe's gas cloud tech, and the environment teams recently completed a sprint exploring some Lagrange point looks for the various planets of the upcoming Pyro system. Each star system, planetary area, and
like it.
planet itself is designed with a specific color palette in mind at the
You know what I
earliest
hope-
parts of the process. And
Sorry I keep pausing. This video is a lot longer than 14 minutes. That's for sure. You know what I hope they don't do? And I'm sure, and this is just my opinion. You may feel differently. I would love to know this as well in the comments. Is I hope, because it's Pyro and it's known to be this, you know, pirate-driven area where all the outlaws, not even outlaws, the pirates basically go to live. I hope they don't make it a shithole. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to look awful just because it's a pirate place. You know, think of real life. Look at drug lords. You know? Drug kingpins. These guys are living in massive $20 million mansions with pools. They got lions walking around the garden. Like, make some places like that where they have all this illegal money that's being pumped into Pyro because it's lawless, right? And they have to protect it themselves, but they should, in my opinion, it shouldn't all be horrible. And I don't know if that's the case. I don't think anyone's seen anything to do with that. But I just hope that's the case, and they don't make it just look like Grim Hex everywhere. Because I just don't. I feel like they should have They should have some sort of cartel style thing where they have these big houses and they have all these, you know, pools and Ferraris and private jets. They have that in real life. I hope that they'd have something like that in this, right? Some kingpin, like, manor on one of the moons.
some of the coloring you see here may and will change as the lighting passes begin.
That's sick, though. That looks
Additionally, the wrecks you see here are all currently placeholder, as the call has gone out to create more
hope it's not
dynamic
all wrecks
and in some
either.
cases more recognizable debris for the players to explore.
awesome. I hope it's not
Yeah,
all
we're
just
on the
wrecks.
road to Pyro this year, and you can
I hope
expect to see lots
I hope the whole thing's not just a junkyard like this, though. You know what I mean? Don't make it like a whole reclamation disposal or good system. I don't know. They may not. I just have a bad feeling that's the road they're
more
gonna go
as
down.
2022 progresses. And before we let you go, the teams are following up on the concepts you saw at CitizenCon for Outlaw space stations, and moving through Whitebox phase, designing the variety of them you will encounter scattered throughout the Pyro system.
I guess that answers my question. Yeah, the space stations, right? Sure, they're run down. They have no one holding them accountable. They're not gonna look great. No one's gonna clean them because who cares? I just hope they're not all like that.
Including some areas that share some assets with the colonialism outposts found planetside, and trailing wires throughout while keeping the possibility of AI traversal in mind. You know, some poor engineer is gonna get caught up in here the wrong way, and that's how you get Vera at the end of Superman. That was a joke for about 16 of you.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Here's another one. This kind of looks like Hassan's office a bit. That was just a joke for Ian Leland. Finally, here's some video follow-up of the continuing Whitebox progress of an exterior combined with the spacescaping you saw before.
I understand that it makes sense. It's a pirate system, no law, just lots of death and destruction. Sure. Yeah. I guess because they have no one ruling it, right? Like, if you go to Hurston or Arzen or, Arcorp, they have people that run it that I would assume are like, keep it clean, keep everything running. Whereas like this station, I'm assuming there's no law here either. So who's going to clean up that mess outside? You know what I mean? Why would anyone clean it up? No one cares. Yeah, I guess. I just hope there's maybe some little outposts on some little moon or something where it looks luxurious. Like this is a drug kingpin area. But I don't know. It looks cool though, I like it. You gonna show us what inside one of these things looks like?
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that the new Derelicts in 3.16.1 are just the next
Derelicts
step
is
in a
sick.
massive new journey
was a
towards a
great
more
Inside Star
vibrant
Citizen, I think.
and dynamic set of historical collisions for players to discover and explore in the future. That the vehicle experience team are gonna give the VFX team some high blood pressure as they continue to explore the possibilities cluster weapons bring to the persistent universe.
Take your time
That the
on
Drake Corsair is coming. And that Pyro continues to let our artists explore the far reaches of color and general disorderliness.
Yeah.
And don't forget that Xenothreat is returning once again to the stand system. Be sure you check out the website and social media for all the details. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you all next week.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what do we think? Listen, I thought that was an incredible Inside Star Citizen. I really did. It makes you think, right? It makes you think. I thought it was great. I love the derelict ships and that whole idea of having ships that slowly change over time. As far as the cluster bombs, take your time. I don't think anyone's like, I need cluster bomb. Like, take your time. No one cares. No, I don't mean no one cares. I don't mean it like that. I mean, it's. I think cluster bombs is a given. I feel like it'll be there eventually, and when it happens, it happens. Take your time with it. No, don't make it a selling point for anything. Like, hey, 3.22, it's cluster bomb. No, just take your time. That's how I feel anyway. What else? The ships, new ships come in. Like I say, it would be cool to have some ships that we didn't have to buy with real money, that came out in-game only, that were part of a story, that you had to do certain things in-game to be able to be invited to buy these ships in-game. That would be cool. I don't know if they'll do that. I'd love to know your thoughts on that. But yeah, all in all, I thought that was a good Inside Star Citizen. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry I paused a lot, so this video ended up being a lot longer than the actual video itself. But hey, I like to talk about things, you know what I mean? Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys soon. Probably not tomorrow. Maybe we'll stream tomorrow. I don't know. See you guys soon. Bye.